With the token shop coming to Marvel Snap, you'll finally be able to fill in those key missing pieces in your collection to finish out those decks you're wanting to try. Everyone's going to be getting tokens for at least 3 cards right off of the bat if they're at least collection level 500. And if you're not quite that far yet, don't worry. When you hit that breakpoint, you're going to get those 3,000 collector tokens as well. Today, I'm going to break down what I think are the top 5 Series 3 cards to watch for inside of the token shop that can give you the most deck building flexibility and power for your valuable resource. Coming in at number 5, we probably have what is my most played Series 3 card in Marvel Snap, and that is the Hood. 1 energy and -2 power, but on reveal adds a demon to your hand. The demon, a very powerful, non-collectible card, being 1 energy and 6 points of stats. Hood has very obvious synergy with the Destroy package, Carnage, and Killmonger, cards that you're guaranteed to have from your pool 1 and 2 in your collection. Hood is also fantastic with other things like Viper or various locations that flip up, such as the Bar with No Name or Oscorp Tower, flipping over to the opponent's side of the board. And at face value, Hood's just a fine rate for all things considered. Even if you play Hood and Demon out to the board, you're effectively getting 4 points of stats for 2 resources. So even in a worst case scenario, Hood is an acceptable on rate play that you can spread out over the course of 2 turns, meaning it fills into your curve quite nicely. Coming in at number 4, we have another fantastic card that provides a ton of stats to the board while also adding a nice head game for your opponent in Mysterio. 2 energy, 5 power card. When you play this card out, play illusions to other locations. The disguised illusion will remain that way until the game ends. Basically, your opponent sees 3 0-power Mysterios played to the board, and at the end of the game, the true one reveals itself, adding 5 to the location that it's at. These other Mysterio clones can do things like gain power bonuses from things like Patriot or Nova. They can be eaten by Carnage to gain benefits, and they can trigger things like Angela or Rescue in key spots as well. On top of all of this utility, Mysterio also just has one of the absolute best rates in the game with 5 points of stats for just 2 energy. While it is true that the extra bodies it puts into play can occasionally be considered clutter and get in the way, I think the upside far outweighs its downside, and Mysterio is a wonderful addition to most decks just by virtue of the raw stats he provides. Up next, we have format mainstay and headliner in the decks named after itself in the Destroyer. 6 energy, 16 power card. On reveal, destroy all your other cards. Things like armor, Cosmo, Professor X let you mitigate this downside quite well. And most importantly, the Destroyer is a great pickup for collector's tokens because one of the best variations of the Destroyer archetype, Spectrum Destroyer, utilizes essentially all pool 1 and pool 2 cards past itself, meaning once you add Destroyer to your collection, you essentially unlocked a brand new archetype to play that's very competitive. Coming in at number 2 on my Series 3 recommendations, we have Sarah here. 5 energy, 5 power, ongoing cards in your hand cost 1 less. Sarah's not only powerful, but she's also flexible, seeing play in a ton of different shells. There's kind of zoo variations that flood the board in the final turn for lots of power. There's disruptive variations because she lets you play both Enchantress and Shang-Chi on the final turn of the game, as well as more combo-focused variations in Mr. Negative, allowing you to have yet another means to make your cards cheaper. Sarah is a card that you will get play out of in your collection, and she headlines a number of powerful decks, making her an excellent pickup with your valuable collector tokens. Coming in at number 1 on the Series 3 cards to watch out for in your token shop, I think has to be Mystique. While she doesn't quite have the individual raw power of Destroyer and Sarah, she is so important at making a number of archetypes playable that just aren't without her. Cerebro, gotta have Mystique to double that up. Patriot, gotta have Mystique to double that up. Have Mr. Negative, you definitely want Mystique to get a second copy of Iron Man. Just playing Devil Dinosaur, why not have a 3-mana Devil Dinosaur on the following turn? Playing Kazar with Blue Marvel and Onslaught, Mystique again. Looking to combo people with Wong and Onslaught, Mystique again. She really just does it all. Having her opens up so many additional deck building avenues in Marvel Snap, and naturally, that was why she was the second to last card I opened in my personal collection at approximately collection level 4,000. Luckily for you all, you're going to have tokens to pick her up as one of your first cards. Would highly recommend doing so. Yeah. What do you think of my Series 3 card recommendations to keep an eye out for in your token shop? Do they line up with the things you had in your head, or did I give you some new ideas? I'd love to know in the comments down below. Remember, if you did enjoy my suggestions, to tap that like button. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe here. I post Marvel Snap tidbits, game news updates, and other deck highlights here 7 days a week. I'd love to see you back again. Enjoy the rest of your day wherever you're at, folks. Appreciate you stopping by.